Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 2nd of October. Starting off with the S&P as usual, and here you can see that even though there have been shutdown issues in terms of the US government, looks like it doesn't really matter to the stock market. We've got the channel there heading for channel there from April heading for 6,900, looking for that perhaps as soon as the end of this month, especially after the last couple of strong candles that we've had. We already had the gap close buy signal at the end of last week, and looking for further progress on this market towards the 6,900 area. There is a rug pull now, not expecting it to be less than 65.50, which is recent support. Worst case, 64.82, the 50-day line and the floor of the channel. But you can see that we've had another RSI 50 plus rebound, and that is still guiding this market higher. The Nasdaq is next, and here you can see that also making progress. In this case, towards the top of the April channel, there as high as 25,400. That is obviously on track, or we're hoping for that by the end of this month. Best case would be up to the late January resistance line projection, 26,300, and we're looking for that. Well, both those targets while we're above the 24,000 zone. The 50-day line there at 23,700, and I suppose if there's a rug pull, that would be the worst that we would be looking at. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with a slightly esoteric choice, I would say, which is Angel Studios. Here we've got this, looks like a sort of a saucer type reversal there. The line to break, the resistance line there to break around $9.20. Above that, we could see the shares return to the best levels at $20, perhaps by the end of next month or even sooner. Datavault has been a regular, frequent flyer here in recent days, and here you can see that we've hit and keep on hitting the initial target there at the top of the broadening triangle base around 135. Above that, which we are just about at the moment, looking for a new leg to the upside as high as $2.25, and looking for that by maybe as soon as the end of this month. Ideally, whatever happens, we stay on the right side of the old May resistance around $1.10. Next up is a name which is less familiar, Electra battery, but here it's effectively a broadening triangle as well, looking for the top of the triangle there towards $1.95, looking for that by the end of this month while we stay above recent broken resistance around the $1.30 level, maybe 132, probably more accurate there, but at least while we're above that, looking for the area towards $2. The other thing you can see is that we've had an RSI 50 rebound, so that predicted the rise that we've had over the last couple of sessions, the last few sessions, in fact. On to Palisade Bio, and here a slightly messy chart, and so it's a little bit erratic with those spikes, but this spike not sold into, unlike recent ones, and many of the recent ones. So the target there, the initial target there, $1.53. And above that, looking for a fresh move to the upside as high as $2.25. Obviously, we're back below that, so we need to stay above the 200-day line, 95 cents, to continue the recovery scenario for the shares. Plug Power is a stock which we looked at quite a long time ago, but it's back again. And here we've got this so-called V-shaped bull flag, looking for a breakout through the $3.20 zone to give us a move up to $4.50. Perhaps as soon as the end of this month, given the way that we already look pretty strong in terms of the recovery here. Ideally, we stay on the right side of recent broken resistance at $2.50 if we can. Moving on to another situation which may be one to keep following, which is Rail Vision. Here you can see that we've broken through the 200-day moving average. That was at 52 cents. Above that, we're looking for the top of the rising trend channel base there around 74 cents, which is also the old February resistance area. So let's see if the shares can stay above that 200-day line and move higher. Next on the list is Ryvyl, and here we've got a situation where we've got a bear trap item reversal, one of our favorite setups, largely because they tend to work, but obviously not every time. Here you can see we gapped down to new lows in July, and we've gapped up now. We're kind of in the middle of the gap area. I suppose if you're cautious, you'll be looking for an end-of-day close back above the old support there at 60 cents, and then looking for the stock to head up to 80 cents by the end of this month On the downside, hoping that there won't be an end of day close back below yesterday's support at 44 cents, maybe allow down to the old gap floor area at 38 as the ultimate stop loss, even though it is rather expensive at current levels. On to Tesla, where the mainstream media is obviously gritting its teeth about having to report that Elon Musk is now worth $500 billion. Here you can see that we've had this extended bull flag mid-move consolidation and basically above the old target there, which was around $4.40, or $440 rather. We're looking for the top of the upper parallel of that rising trend channel as high as $520 by the end of this month. Looks like a very strong setup, not just because it's Elon Musk, but because we've had two unfilled gaps to the upside, one on the 12th and the next one on the 15th of September. And the shares have basically got a rising flag there, so too strong even to test for support or test for lower support there. On to Toro, and here, nice spike to the upside, steep rising trend channel there, and above recent broken resistance around the $3.40 level. That also ties in with the initial 2025 resistance, the 350, looking for up to $5 by the end of this month, and hopefully much sooner than that, and actually hopefully rather more than that, given the strong setup that we have there. Finishing off with US Antimony, and here obviously a very popular substance at the moment, antimony, in the sense that it's a critical metal, and if I can type it out correctly, we'll have a look at the chart as well. You can see that the situation is that we've got a nice ongoing breakout for the shares, a relatively steep rising trend channel, heading for the $11 area, which we're looking for by the end of this month, while we remain above recent support. Basically, the floor of that mid-move consolidation at $6, above 6, looking for 11 on US Antimony. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.